Back in 2012, I traveled all the way from Phoenix, Arizona to St. Louis, Missouri to help transport several critically endangered Mexican gray wolves from captivity to the wild. Little did I know that this very trip would set me on a path towards a career in wildlife conservation as a filmmaker. Goodness, I look so young here. I was meeting the good people at the Endangered Wolf Center, one of many facilities around the United States involved in saving this species from extinction. These endangered wolves came within one female of extinction back in the 1970s. But thanks to this facility and others like it, a captive breeding program was established. And in 1998, Mexican gray wolves were released back into their native range in the Southwest. Here we are capturing several of these wolves and then preparing them for their long journey across the country, where they will have a shot at freedom. Now, if you're wondering why I have all of this footage, it's because not only am I helping transport these wolves into the wild, I was also making my very first wildlife documentary to help generate awareness for these wolves. This film went on to screen around the world at festivals, won multiple awards, and reached thousands of people, bringing the story of the Mexican wolf to countless audiences. Not bad for a first-time filmmaker, eh? You can now watch this film over at realearthfilms.org, the nonprofit I founded to tell important stories like this. And there's a link in the description below if you're interested. Now back to the story. We departed St. Louis and made the 4-hour flight to New Mexico, where we would meet up with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, who oversee the management of the wild population of Mexican wolves. Oh, and a cool fact, there's an organization by the name of Lighthawk Aviation that donates flights such as this one to conservation and environmental causes. So a huge shout out and thanks to Lighthawk for all that they do for Mexican wolves and other important issues. As we flew over New Mexico, we could look out our window and see the habitat where these wolves would soon have their chance at freedom. If you're enjoying this video so far, I have decided to dig deep into the unused footage from this project, and I will be releasing never-before-seen footage from the production, so I'll have more stories, footage of Mexican wolves, and cool moments that didn't make the cut that I'll be sharing soon. So be sure to stick around to the end of the video to hear how you can catch it so you don't miss it when it comes out.
Alan?
Yeah, that's me.
Sal?
Nice to meet you.
You too?
Once we landed, we met the folks with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, and after a brief hello, we got the wolves loaded off the plane and into the transport vehicles that we would be taking to their pre-release site. We then made the several-hour drive from the airport to the Sevieta National Wildlife Refuge, where we would let these wolves acclimate to their new environment before being released into the wild. Driving through the refuge to an undisclosed location kind of felt like driving through a real live-action Western film, only instead of cattle and cowboys, we were conservationists and wolves. Once at the facility, we were met by staff and began preparing vaccinations and food for the wolves, as it had been a long day for them. Since this is one of the pre-release sites for Mexican wolves, it was important to minimize our human presence, as other wolves were already present at the facility. So we got everything ready a couple of miles before entering the actual site itself. As part of this boot camp for the wild, so to speak, wolves here receive minimal contact with humans. Every few days, they are fed and their water tanks are cleaned and refilled, and then they're left alone. On this day, however, we needed to spend a little extra time to ensure the wolves we were transporting looked healthy and were in good shape after the long journey. As we made our way from the vehicle to the enclosure where we were releasing our first wolf, I couldn't help but feel the monumental moment that was about to come. This was a female by the name of Ernesta, and the hopes were that she would pair with one of the males from the Endangered Wolf Center and then get released into the wild and have puppies, providing a much-needed boost in genetics for the wild population.
All right, we'll see how this goes, but she should just come on right on out.
I was so excited that I struggled opening the latch on the door of her crate to let her out.
If we can push the button down
Yeah,
here.
you just push both ends. There you go.
Ah.
These guys right here.
Oh, those ones. Ah, the loading process.
And then Ernesta bolted out into her new home, one step away from her freedom.
There she is, Ernesta, from the Brookfield Zoo. She is beautiful. It's her new home for a while. She's got a bright future ahead of her. In a few months, she's gonna be released into the wild. She's one of a very select few of Mexican gray wolves living on this planet, and to be in the same enclosure with one of the most endangered species on this planet is a truly remarkable experience.
It was truly a surreal moment.
And over like 280 in captivity. This is a very rare experience.
Little did we know at that time how important this female wolf would become for the entire Mexican wolf program.
All right, so we've got the two guys here from the Endangered Wolf Center, so explain to me what we're gonna do here.
Yeah, so before we put them into the pens, we just need to give them a little injection for some internal parasites just to make sure that they're healthy before they enter the facility.
Okay.
And so we're just gonna pin them to the back of the crate, pop them with the drugs, and then we'll let them out.
Very cool. Well, that's exciting. Get them healthy.
We'll just make sure we finish our water and our food. That way when we let them loose, we can exit and let them be and relax a little bit.
And so when they're released and the female has the opportunity to run down this run here, how does the courtship work in that kind of a sense?
Well, right now they're not going to be really doing any courtship. They're
Okay.
just going to get to know each other. And tomorrow, Regina and I are going to go up into our blind and just see if we can watch their interactions. She may be scared enough that she may not even come through the runway. We'll see. It's kind of a closed area.
Gotcha.
So we'll just kind of see how they're behaving, and then we'll come back and just keep an eye on them.
Cool. Very neat. It's exciting to see.
Next, we prepared the two males for release, gave them their vaccinations, checked their health, and then released them together in their new enclosure.
Ready. One.
We later learned that Ernesta ended up taking a fancy to one of these males, a male by the name of Wesley, so the plan appeared to be working well.
Basically what we're doing here is there's a lot of other wolves here and they do supplemental feeding with these big old hunks of meat right here. And we're just gonna kind of disperse it around. Well, it didn't last time, I think. We'll leave that one there. A couple there. Take a couple over here.
Next, I was tasked with placing the prepared logs of frozen meat around the various wolf enclosures.
Each wolf gets 2 logs.
As part of their boot camp, they are fed every 3 to 4 days, emulating the frequency in which they likely would be feeding in the wild. It was quite an experience to walk around freely inside an enclosure with several nearly wild wolves, carrying hunks of meat, and placing them around in places where they could find it and enjoy a meal.
That'll sustain them for a little while. There's 2 males and 1 female in this enclosure.
I never once thought about any kind of danger, nor did I ever feel threatened.
All right, you beautiful wolf, it's time to eat.
For as soon as I entered the enclosure, the wolves were too scared to even bother trying to come near me, even with all that scent of meat. And having not eaten in several days, their fear was still too great. So whenever I hear people talk about how wolves are dangerous and bloodthirsty killers, I think of these moments and how terrified they actually were of being around people. They wanted nothing to do with me. And this has been my experience in the wild as well. They always run away. Not many people can say they have actually fed wolves, so it was quite an amazing experience to take it all in.
Got one more log here. I'm gonna take it over here to this tree. Here you go, buddy.
Placing the logs of meat around and then watching the wolves come in, grab a hunk of meat, and then scarf it down is something I will never forget. As for Ernesta and her story, well, you'll need to go check out the film I made called Gray Area: Wolves of the Southwest over on realearthfilms.org. I've put a link in the description below. Wolves like Ernesta and Wesley are changing the landscape. They're restoring the balance, bringing back what was lost. For me, this wasn't just about her release, it was about mine. This was the moment I decided I wanted to be a wildlife filmmaker. That I could truly make a difference, to tell these stories, to capture moments that might otherwise go unseen. There's so much more to this story that I couldn't fit into this video. Personal footage, reflections, and even unseen moments from this entire production. So if you want to see more moments like this, I'll be releasing never-before-seen footage over on my Patreon. It's the best way to stay up to date with this continuing story, and others like it. And it's also the best way to support my work and help me keep telling these stories. In the meantime, keep an eye out for the next episode of Filming the Wild.